You know what's the most shocking thing that has happened at Walt Disney Animation Studios lately? They recently made a great sequel. That being Zootopia 2. Taking place after the events of the original Zootopia, this new sequel follows Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps as they pursue a snake named Gary across Zootopia and attempt to erase their names after being framed. I saw Zootopia 2 at my local Cinemark theater, and do you know what I think of it? I didn't like it. I love it! I never thought I would call a Disney sequel great, but here I am! Allow me to explain why Zootopia 2 is great, in my opinion. 1. The big reason why I am intrigued with Zootopia 2 is that it has a special ingredient that every good sequel has, which is none other than properly expanding the established world the filmmakers have created. What I'm saying here is that this sequel includes new types of species the original did not include, which are reptiles. 2. Obviously, the animation is smooth, well detailed, and gorgeous to look at. I'm a firm believer that the animation in Zootopia 2 has improved from the original Zootopia in terms of emotion, especially the facial expressions on most of the characters, both old and new. 3. As I mentioned the word characters in the previous reason, several characters from the original, mainly Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, are more likable than they have any right to be, and it is all thanks to their admiring chemistry as mystery-solving partners. Also, the new characters like Gary, Nibbles Maplestick, Mayor Winddancer, and Pobbert Linksley can range from being charming to quite riveting. 4. The chase sequences are easily fun to watch. The scene in the beginning of the movie where Judy and Nick attempt to catch a criminal and the other chase scene at Marsh Market are two of my highlights when it comes to the chase scenes in this sequel. 5. As someone expected from Disney Animation, the voice acting is excellent. Not only Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman did a great job reprising their roles as Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, newcomers such as Ki-Hoo Kwan, Fortune Famester, Andy Samberg, and the Chad voice himself, Patrick Warburton, all did great jobs voicing Gary, Nibbles, Paubert Linksley, and Mayor Winddancer, respectively. 6. The comedy in this movie is surprisingly more humorous than the original. There have been a fair share of smartly funny moments that I laughed at from time to time. Instances include the scene where Nibbles interacts with Bob the Lars like, "Hey Bob, hey Bob, hey Bob, hey Bob, hey Bob." Here's the basilisk running quickly through the pond after interacting with Nick and Judy. And let's not forget the scene where Nick Wilde hits Gary with a frying pan after Gary convinces Judy that snakes aren't morally bad. That is a clever reference to Tangled, if I say so myself. 7. The soundtrack is unsurprisingly good. Michael Giacchino did a nice job composing the score for this movie, and the movie's theme song, which is simply titled Zoo by Shakira, aka the voice of Gazelle, is straight up catchy at best. It's even more of a banger than Try Everything from the first movie. Yes, I said that out loud. Some people may find the song Zoo familiar to another hit by Shakira, which is This Time for Africa, while personally, I find it familiar to Better When I'm Dancing by Meghan Trainor from the Peanuts movie in terms of rhythm and beat. 8. Superb direction by Jared Bush and Brian Howard, which they previously directed Encanto, which is notable considering Encanto was a hit with critics and audiences. 9. Putting the humorous moments aside, this sequel has absolutely neat callbacks to the first movie. To describe, the filmmakers did not shoehorn the callbacks to the original just for the audiences to feel nostalgic. They included them in a natural way to make them integral to the story and some conflicts, which I appreciate. 10. Last but not least, the scene where Nick and Judy come clean about their flaws and insecurities is cathartically beautiful. It is a strong, emotionally driving plot point for Nick and Judy's character arc and development, and it delivers an encouraging message to the viewer to not be afraid of reaching out, and that it is important to not just acknowledge your flaws, but also take accountability for your actions and mistakes. All that being said, my only nitpicks I have with Zootopia 2 are 1. Bellwether is still in it, unfortunately. 2. The story, while it did a good job expanding the world, it felt like a bit of a rehash of the original. And 3. Some fan favorite characters of the original, like Flash the Sloth and Finnick, did not have as much screen time as they had in the original. But honestly, it is all okay. Overall, Zootopia 2 simply stands out among other hit or miss Disney sequels as the best Disney animated sequel to date. This Disney animated sequel is easily better than Moana 2 last year because unlike Moana 2, which was originally going to be a Disney Plus show before it being reworked into a feature-length theatrical sequel, Zootopia 2 was meant to be a movie from the ground up. This is not just better than Moana 2 last year, but it is also better than the original Zootopia back in 2016. Call me insane all you want, but I'll forever stand by that. In conclusion, imagine if Disney's next animated movie Hexed ends up being as good as Zootopia 2. I give Zootopia 2 a 9.7 out of 10. And I'm done yapping about my thoughts on Zootopia 2. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.